You belong on every ground your feet grace, so don't ever feel out of place. Take up space and belong. This earth is your birthplace. Okay, so I decided to review One Woman's Trash on Tubi, and I'm gonna do it this way, just kind of see how I like it, if I like it better, the real time review. But the first 15 minutes in, it starts off with the couple. I think her name is Ryan and his name is Adam, sitting on the couch, and she asked him, "You want to talk about why it got soft?" And then it goes to 2 months earlier, and I don't really understand why it started off like that and then it's 2 months earlier. Like, usually when it shows like a present day thing, it's usually something like showing you like the result of something that somebody did, right? Why would it be that for the him not getting hard? Like, usually, somebody standing over a dead body, somebody fighting over a gun, somebody in court getting a divorce, something like this wasn't nothing to flash back about or like go back to show how we got here. Him not getting hard. That's the premise. So it starts off that, then it goes 2 months, 2 months earlier, and I think they're at home or whatever, and he tells her, he asks her, is she trying to get into something basically, or do you want to have sex? And she like, I want to take a shower first. And he like, but you just came back from the store, why you need to take a shower? And he like, she like, can I just be fresh for you? And he like, okay, cool, go take a shower. I'm gonna get us some more wine. When I come back, we can get it cracking. So in the next scene, he comes back and she's on the chair sleeping. And he kind of like shakes his head and like walks off or whatever. And then the next scene, the two of them are at a restaurant with her two friends and his homeboy. And they're having a conversation about the difference between a broke bummy nigga and a nigga that's broke because he paid all the bills. And the girl Ryan was saying that regardless of why he's broke, she don't do broke niggas. She said she want a man who can give her what she need, and she need her bundles. So she can't deal with a broke man. And so the waitress comes over and takes their order, and like she orders a laundry list of things. And her boyfriend Adam digs in his pocket and he pulls out a 20. He only got $20 and you've ordered $100 worth of food. So the homeboy peep game, his homeboy peep game, he like peeped under the table and saw him pull out the 20. And so he took his key and he pressed the alarm, the panic button on his car, and it started beeping. He like, y'all hear that? I think that's my car. And like he go outside and he like, hey, why don't you come help me with that or whatever, calling Adam out. So they go to check on his car, and when they get out there, he hands him some money. It looked like maybe about 100, maybe $200. He handed him maybe three even. And he like, nah, you ain't gotta do that. He like, nigga, I been there. You need this money. She just ordered $100 worth of food, and she probably not even gonna eat $20 worth of it. And he like, you need the money. And he like, and then they walk back in. Then he goes to the two of them having a was it the two of them having a conversation? No, he was reading a book, and she comes up and asks him like what he's doing. No, he's reading a book and she comes out of the bathroom after showering. She has like a towel wrapped around her, and he stands up and he like, you want to get something cracking? And he starts kissing on her and she like, stop. And so he stops and walks off. Okay, so this seems like a pattern. So then the two of them are having a conversation about something. And they're sitting down and like looking at the phone or whatever, and they're showing each other like these expensive gifts and stuff. And he asked her like, you don't want to like open up a business or something like that. He like, I'll support whatever you want to do. You know, when you did the nail thing, I supported you during that. When you was selling that hair, I supported you during that. But you quit. Like you quit. Like I feel like he like, this is not the 50s. Like you can work too. Like I'm working real hard and I'm tired of living, and you know, we struggling. You know, maybe you could do something. That she asked him like, you trying to say I'm lazy or whatever. He like, how you get that out of that? And she like, you, that's what you're trying to say. You're trying to say I'm lazy. And he like, no, I'm not trying to say you're lazy. I'm trying to say, if you want to open a business, you want to start a business, I will support you like I have been doing or whatever. And then it's another time that they're sitting on the couch and she showed him some type of like watch or something. I'm guessing some jewelry. And she asked him um if he got some free money or whatever. And he like, nah, I'm tapped out. I just pay all the bills. And she like, well, my credit card bill is due, and they say if I don't pay it, they're gonna cut it off or whatever. And he like, how much is it? She said 17,000. I'm like, at one time, what kind of credit card you got with a bill of 17,000 at one time in a month? And she like, well, they did tell me if I pay half of it, then they won't cut it off. And he like, that's almost $8,500. Like I don't got that. We don't got money like that just laying around. It's like, and she like, he like, you know, we don't got money like that just laying around. Like we gotta do something or whatever. And she like, can't you just get another job? And he like, I don't want to get another job. Like I want to own a business. I don't want to be a slave making money for somebody else's business. I want to own my own business or whatever. Because he was telling her about this camera he wanted in another conversation they had, and she just is not interested. Anytime he tried to talk to her about like ideas, like business ideas and stuff, she's not interested. But she expects him to have money. I don't get it. Like you don't care about his dreams, you don't support his dreams, you don't encourage him. At least he ain't even asking you to help him pay for the camera. He telling her how much it costs, and he like, you know, usually it runs about 10,000. Somebody selling it for 3,500, and she like, a camera just to take pictures. And he like, no, to film, like, cause he's a filmmaker. So um he like, you know, this is what I want to do. And she like, why you want to get another job? And he like, I don't want another job, I want to do this or whatever. But so it just seems like the conversation is mostly about money, and she expects him to buy her whatever she want, give her whatever, how much money she want, and all of this stuff. But she doesn't care about his dreams, like his goals, the things that he want to do. She just draining him dry. Every time he get money, he gotta pay the bills, and then he gotta take her out to the restaurant and buy her all the food that she order and do all of this stuff, to the point that his homeboy had to give him money so he won't look stupid. And to me, it's weird, but it seems like some men like women like that. Cause if you didn't, why you with her? But so the last scene that I stopped on is her talking to her homegirls, and they're basically talking to her about basically being a trash girlfriend. Like, you're not doing nothing. Like, um he one of her friends was like, that man work hard, why won't you just fix him some food when he come home, because he work hard. And she like, as long as that nigga eat before he go to sleep, he'll be all right. And then the other girl is like, well, you know, are you having, at least having sex with the nigga? Like, you ain't having sex with him? And she like, girl, I don't gotta do that. I ain't doing that. I don't gotta do that. And she like, you better be glad that I ain't your boyfriend, because I would have been beating you up. And I'm like, okay, pointless. Like, the mindset is trash. But okay. While her and her friends are talking, he comes in and he like, what's that? And they're like, what's what? And they're looking around, and he pulls out this jewelry like box or whatever. It looked like a ring box, but when he hands it to her, she pulls out a necklace. Um And at first she's happy, and she's asking him like, when did you get this or whatever, and he like, I left work early to go get it for you because I knew you wanted. And she gets mad because he left work early, and she's like, and her friend, one of her friends gets up because they know she's about to start an argument. So she gets up and she's like, okay, on that note, I'm about to go. And she like, okay, girl, I'll call you later. She like, no, don't call me because I'm liable to curse you out. And I'm guessing the friend is mad because he just bought you a gift and you're about to start an argument with him. He bought you something that you've been asking for, and you're starting an argument because he didn't call you. And then the other girl tells them that she's going to go and check on her boyfriend or whatever. So when they leave, she like, why you didn't tell me that you love work? And he like, because I was surprising you with this necklace. And she like, you. And then he like, have I ever cheated on you? Have I ever made you look stupid, giving you a reason to be acting like this? And she like, you don't get it. And he like, what don't I get? Like, what are you talking about? I worked all day. I got off work early, and I went to get you this gift. And you're mad at me because I didn't call you before I went to get it? She one of the ones. She one of the ones, those girls that just be caring about themselves, self-centered, and just want things to go their way or whatever. And they seem to be the girls that get men to do whatever it is that they want them to do, because they don't accept nothing less. But those of us who kind of like take it easy on them, we get absolutely nothing. And that's why, could we take it easy on them? Not we, as in me. Because, okay. But like, I don't know. I don't really like her. I don't like her because she does not care about him. It just seems like she out to use him, and then she like want him to do whatever it is that she want him to do. And like, he has to be where she expects him to be when she expects him to be there. And if he's not, then she feels betrayed. I don't know, but people like that you can't trust. So the two of them are laying in the bed sleeping, and she's texting some nigga talking about she's tired of him. He had like a child. She always got to remind him to do stuff, whatever, whatever. And he like, I got you, baby. And then he tells her to send him a video of her moaning his name. She is literally laying beside her boyfriend, masturbating, recording herself so she can send to another nigga. And she's moaning, and so like, he wakes up thinking that she's having a nightmare. He like, you all right? Like, are you having a nightmare? She like, I'm good or whatever. I'm good. And like, he pulls her into him and like, protective, like showing her some love just in case, while you're masturbating for another nigga laying beside me. Stuff like that will get you killed. I'm sorry. Stuff like that will get you killed because you're playing with people. So then, in the next scene, he gets up, he get his camera, and she goes in the living room with him, and he like, my camera just came in, like he's excited or whatever. And she like, you bought that camera? And he like, yeah, I told you it was a good deal. You paid $3,500 on a camera when I asked you to help me out, and you told me you ain't had money. He said, yeah, I didn't have money to blow, but what's wrong with me investing in myself? I already do everything for you as it is. And she like, so that's besides the point. I asked you to have my back and you didn't have my back. And he like, girl, every time I get money, I'm spending it on you. And the one time I want to invest it in myself, you got a problem? And she like, you don't get it. What don't he get? Because she keeps saying this. What don't he get? That you're a spoiled brat, that you're self-centered, and you think that his life should be about pleasing you? That's what he don't get? Ain't no way. I could not date nobody like that. Because they would be not make you punch them in their face. People like that will make you lose yourself. I'm sorry. I could not be with somebody like that. Like, she cares nothing about herself. So in the next scene, she's talking to her friends, and they're pretty much getting on her about the way that she treats him or whatever. And one of her friends was like, he done sent you to Italy so many times. Why didn't you just take that money from that and paid on your credit cards? And she like, I don't care about them credit cards. It was Italy. Of course I was gonna go. And they're like, what's wrong with you? Like, really, what's wrong with you? And she like, y'all supposed to be my friends. And they like, the key word is friend. We're supposed to tell you when you're wrong, and you're wrong, bruh. Like, and I know that there are women like this who do exist, and I really and truly could not deal. I could not deal with that, because I would be in prison. The conversation with her friends and with one of them basically telling her that that man literally does everything for you and you don't appreciate it. And she was like, women can fumble good men too, you better be careful. And I feel she kind of comes off like he's never going to leave her. Like, I don't fumble, I don't fumble niggas. Like, he ain't, excuse me, he ain't never gonna leave me, he lucky to have me, type of woman. In the next scene, he hands her some money, and he like, they only gave me 1,800 for it. So this nigga went and sold his camera to give her money because she was pouting that he didn't have her back. She takes the money from him, goes to get her, sets an appointment for her to get her hair and nails done, and then she goes to him and she tells him she got a surprise for him or whatever. And like, she tells him to close his eyes. She pulls out a lingerie and then tells him to open his eyes, and he looks at the lingerie and he's like, that's what you spent my money on? And she like, yeah, I made a hair and nail appointment too. He said, that's what you made me spend, that's what you made me sell my camera for? Lingerie, your hair and your nails? And he like, you know how much it meant for me to have that camera or whatever. And she like, well, I only spent 750 on it, and then I put the rest on my account. And she was acting like, when he was questioning her about it, she was acting like she was so confused why he felt some type of way. Are you serious? So he gets up and he leaves, and he goes to like that little restaurant that they were at or whatever, and he orders food. He ends up falling asleep. So the waitress that waited on him that first time, she came to get his trash so she could put it up or whatever, and she ends up waking him up, and he tells her, ends up scaring her, and she tells him she's sorry, and he like, you good, I just had a long night or whatever. And she like, I understand, so did I. And he asked her what made her night long, and she was like, well, I was back and forth to the hospital in between my breaks. And he like, why? She said, I'm a doctor. um I'm a doctor or whatever, or she's newly a doctor or whatever. And he like, if you a doctor, why you coming back and forth? Why you working here? She like, I'm just helping my dad out, And he like, y'all own this restaurant? She like, my mom and dad owns this restaurant, and I'm helping them. But I'm a doctor. I'm new to it. I'm just getting my feet wet or whatever. That's why I'm back and forth. And he like, wow, thank you. I needed to hear that or whatever. And I'm guessing it was inspiring to him to see somebody still do the type of work that she was doing, waiting on people, waiting tables and stuff. And she's actually a doctor, so she doesn't have to do it, but she's doing it to help her family. And he like, wow, like that, thank you for telling me, like that really made my night or whatever. And so she was about to like get his, take the stuff and go. But then she thought about it and she sat down and she asked him, why did you have a long night? And he thinks about it for a while. And then when he's about to tell her, it goes to another scene, which um pretty much was him going home or whatever. And when he gets home, Ryan is there and she's him, come here. And then so he goes over to her. She gets on her knees. And she's down there for like a couple of seconds, and then she gets up and she like, why is it soft? And this is where the point where it goes back to, this is where it started. And even after I see where it started and how it began, I'm still confused. Why would you start a movie with that scene? That scene was so insignificant. Now, if they would have started it with the scene of them arguing, so after she called asking why is it soft, she sits on the chair and she like, you want to talk about why it's soft? And he like, what are you talking about? And she like, he was like, I was hard. And she like, your nuts were soft. Your nuts are supposed to be hard when you haven't had sex in a long time. And he like, who told you that stupid junk? He said, my nuts have been plenty of soft when I've been in a drought. I should know. You keep me in a drought, my nigga. And she asked him, are you cheating on me? And he like, cheating on you? Okay, you want to play this game? We could play. No, I'm not cheating on you, but I know that you are cheating on me. Yeah, I forgot to mention that early on. She told him that she took a pregnancy test, and she showed him the test and it was positive, and asked him how he felt about it. He said he was nervous, but he was happy. And he was like, fast forward to the point now. He was like, I know you've cheated on me, and I know that no, and I know that you've cheated on me, and I know that baby wasn't. No, he said, I know that you cheated on me, and she like, how you figure? Basically, like, how you gonna say that? You just trying to flip it on me. Don't try to flip it on me or whatever. And he like, I know that you cheated on me because when you were sleeping, I tried to play with it a little bit and I saw it. And she like, you saw what? He said, a condom. And she had nothing to say. And he told her he knew the baby wasn't his either because his friends told him that she got an abortion. And he like, I introduced you to them and you thought that they weren't going to tell me what was going on. You were arrogant enough to think that they weren't going to tell me what was going on. And he told her as much as he has invested in her and she having sex with another nigga when he's invested so much in her, like, she tripping. In so he called the nigga. He said, as much as I've invested in you and you let a little dick nigga get what I'm supposed to be getting, basically. And she like, his dick wasn't little. She said something about like, something to the effect that all of it couldn't fit or whatever. And when he nutted, when he nutted, it got soft. So that's probably how the condom came off. And I'm like, what was the point of that? What was the point of her saying that? I don't know. Like, was that supposed to be her last, like, as a matter of fact, it wasn't little. And when he nutted, he got soft. That's how the condom came off. Kind of like, that's how a penis is supposed to work. I don't know. I don't know what the point of her saying that was. And so he gets up and he walks away. So she calls the nigga, and every time she's talking to this man, he's sitting in front of a TV, so it don't look like he doing nothing, working on nothing like that. So you're leaving a situation with one man who you feel like isn't doing enough for another man who really isn't doing nothing. He always sitting in front of a TV. But she calls him and she like, I think we broke up. Can we talk for a minute? And he like, well, I might as well just come on over there. So this nigga only want to have sex with you and you mess up a good relationship for a nigga that just want to nut in you? Okay. But so he comes over and they have sex. And like it's so easy for you to have sex with this man who has done nothing for you. But a man who has done everything for you, you won't have sex with him. She don't like him. It just seems like she wants to control him. Like she is with him so she can control him and make him do things because he would do just about anything to make her happy. But she don't actually like him. And the fact that he knew that she was cheating on him and that she got an abortion and he was still with her is crazy to me. But okay. So after they have sex, he takes the trash out and she feels like, she got her a winner. So fast forward 4 years later, he is in the kitchen cooking her dinner. She walks in and he tells her, and this is the new guy, Brian, that Ryan is with. So he tells her, I cook you some dinner, and she like, thank you, and she like, I'm tired, and he like, I bet you are. You work 2 jobs, and then midnights, I'll be tired too. Then he smacks her on the butt and is like, I'm gonna blow your back out later, and he walks off, and she's standing at the stove, taking a deep breath, tired. So then it goes to her talking to her friends and basically saying how tired she is and like what's going on in her life with the new dude or whatever. And they're talking about her birthday or whatever, like they want to do something for her birthday. And she said she said she's too tired to even celebrate or whatever. And they're like, he might do something for you or whatever. So she goes home. She goes home and finds him sleeping on the couch. So the next day, she is talking to her friends, or that night, the next scene, she's talking to her friends and telling them how he was sleeping. He didn't plan nothing for her birthday. And they're like, he didn't buy you nothing either, not even a car. She's like, no. And then her friends started saying like, dang, what is that nigga doing? Because we've been buying you groceries. We've been paying your bills. And you working it. And she like, her friend was like, shoot, we basically taking care of you. We might as well start asking you for some sex. And then she like, and that's not even the worst part. Like last night he invited this girl over and they was in the studio. He had the music up loud. I couldn't even rest. And one of her friends was like, a lot of times when I go to people's house and I use their bathroom, I turn the water on so they won't hear what's going on, something for you to think about. Basically saying, girl, he was having sex with that lady in that house while you was in there. He had the music up loud so you wouldn't hear it. And you sitting here talking about something. They was in the studio. They was in the studio, all right. She literally did not appreciate a man who was doing everything to take care of her. And now she got one who doesn't want to work. And now she has to work 2 jobs and she's working doubles. Like, she's basically getting a taste out of what she was doing to that other dude, to what she was doing to Adam. Like basically making him work so hard and like asking for money for this and money for that and making him pay for this and making him pay for that, and like he never getting to enjoy his life because he always doing something for her. Now the shoe is on the other foot, and she is getting a taste of what he was going through. But she was ungrateful when she had him. Now she with a nigga who don't want to do nothing but sit around and play the game and scratch his balls and have sex with you and other women in your house. So when she go home, she gets this paper and she goes and takes it to Brian and she shows it to him. She like, did you see this? And he like, I ain't even gonna lie, I didn't. And she like, this is the second one that they've sent so far. It's an eviction notice. And she like, what we gonna do? And he like, I don't know. And she like, what do you mean you don't know? I'm out here working busting my butt, paying bills, and you ain't doing nothing. And he like, first of all, lower your tone. Who do you think you talking to? I'm not that other nigga. Okay? You not gonna talk to me like that. I don't know who you think you're talking to, but you better figure this out on your own. And don't ever try me like that again. She apologizes for talking to him like that, whatever. And then he like, and get your hair out the sink or something like that. That's trifling. And gets up and walks off. Like, all this nigga want to do is cook and clean. That's it. Nothing else. And he gets up and walk off. So she goes to her friends and tell them that she's getting evicted and she's crying to them. And the one friend is pissed off. And the other friend asks her, where's Brian? And then the other friend who was pissed off is like, why we even talk about that at a time like this? I'm finna go home and I'm finna make up you a bed and you staying with me tonight. Okay, so she disappears. So while the girl is crying and talking to the other friend, she ends up coughing, like having an asthma attack because she has asthma, apparently. But she's having an asthma attack or whatever. So the girl gets up and she like, are you okay? And she like, where your asthma pump? And she like, I don't know. She like, come on, we're going to the hospital. And she like, why are we going? Because you're not about to die in my house. So she gets up and takes her to the hospital. And they get to the hospital, and the girl that was waiting their table 4 years ago is the doctor that takes care of her. And like, she recognizes her and she like, don't I know you from somewhere? And she like, probably, I'm a doctor, I be here, so you probably saw me here. And she like, no, I saw you at a restaurant. And she like, oh yeah, if you saw me at a restaurant, that was like my mom and dad's restaurant, they just sold it, whatever. She like, you talk about the restaurant that was turned into the hookah lounge? And she like, yeah, that one. And I guess they start talking more, but in the next scene, she is talking to her friend about the whole situation. She like, guess who waited on me? And guess who took care of me? And she like, the girl that was waiting tables at that restaurant that we used to go to all those years ago is a doctor now, and she was my doctor. And she like, do you remember when we used to pick at her? Like, we used to pick at her, but she I used to pick at her for being a waitress, and now she's my doctor. And she like, karma will humble you. Like, she probably remembers me and everything, and she probably remembers that we used to pick at her and everything, and just like reminiscing. And she like, I feel stupid. I felt so stupid or whatever. And her friend is like, that is water under the bridge. Like, ain't nobody even worried about that. And then she like, where's Coda at? Which is the friend that was popping off her mouth about the boy and how he was sorry. All he want to do is cook and clean. He basically a bee with a dick. Just going off on the man, calling him a bum and talking trash about how she been having to pick up his slack, stuff like that. So they looking for her, and she like, where's Coda? Like, I called her, but she didn't answer. And the other girl was like, I called her, she didn't answer too. And she like, do you got your spare key? Because I lost mine, and if she finds out, she'll get mad. And they start laughing, and she like, yeah, I got my spare key. So they go into the girl's house and they looking for her. They calling her name, and then Ryan hears moaning, and she like, oh, she in there having sex with somebody. She getting her back blown out, whatever. And she like, remember that time she walked in on me and Brian having sex or whatever? And then she like, yeah, I remember. She like basically, I'm about to get her back. I'm about to do the same thing to her. And the other girl is like, I don't want to see her having sex. But she like pulls her and they go to the room. She opens the door and peeps in and sees that the girl is having sex with Brian. And she is hurt by this. She is in shambles. She's having flashbacks of all of the bad, negative things that she's ever said about Brian, and how he's sorry and he a bee with a dick and all type of stuff. And she like, and she hurt. So, she guess goes back to the other friend house. But in the next scene, the friend wakes up out of her bed and she goes looking for Ryan. She looks in the bedroom that she was sleeping in her house. She's not in there. So she goes to the bathroom that's right next to the bedroom, opens the door, and she's laying on the floor with a bottle of pills by her or whatever. So she tried to kill herself. And so she rushed her to the doctor again, and it's the same doctor. And the lady told her, and she's at the hospital, her boyfriend is there with her. He's consoling her, and the lady comes and it's like, her name was Tiara, matter of fact, Tiara. I could take you now. And so they go to the back, and she's talking to Tiara about Ryan's condition, and she's telling her she's stable. She was telling her like she got the lab results from her stomach being pumped or whatever, and she like, aside from the pills that she took, we found chlorine in her system. We found bleach, and she like, bleach, and she like, yeah, I'm about to send her upstairs to psych. She's gonna need to be up there, whatever. And the girl is like, no, I'm gonna take a week off of work, let her come home with me, and I'll take care of her. And she like, what? Like, nah, I'm a doctor, I could lose my job for this. She needs to go upstairs to psych. And she like, please, please. And she like, I'm sticking my neck out for you. And she like, please, I promise you I'll take care of her. Just like the fact that she's begging to take care of her, and the fact that the lady is afraid that she's not going to do it and is afraid of losing her job, just makes me feel like she's not going to take care of her. It makes me feel like something else is going to happen. And like, she literally is at rock bottom. Rock bottom. Like, she's tried to kill herself. She has to rely on her friend to take care of her now, after being waited on by a man who made so many sacrifices for her, leaving him for one who did nothing to even get you to have sex with him. He did nothing for you. This other man is doing everything. You don't even want to have sex with him, but you have sex with a man who's done nothing for you. Now look at the situation you're in. You're right. Karma definitely will humble you, and you are humbled, and rightfully so. So just like I thought, the girl didn't even last a couple of hours with her under her care. She ends up sneaking out of the girl's house and going to the other friend house who was cheating on who was cheating with Brian, and she attacks them. She pours boiling water on the girl, and I don't know what she does to Brian, but she attacks them, and it's bad. And then it goes to her standing on this bridge by the water, and she's about to jump out, and she's about to jump, but before she jumps, Adam comes along and he sees her. So he speaks and they start talking, and then she apologizes to him, and he keeps telling her, you don't gotta apologize, everything worked out, you got what you wanted and I got what I wanted. Like, I'm making movies, I'm married, I got a baby. And then the doctor comes up, and she like, Adam, you wasn't supposed to let me catch you. I guess they was on a run together or whatever. And they speak to her. The ladies speak to her or whatever. And she asks her how she's doing or whatever, and she tell her she's okay, but she looks upset, like, you got my nigga? You're the one who's with my nigga? This is your husband? Or whatever. And so the wife tells Adam that she just got off the phone with her mom and the baby is running a fever, so they needed to go. So they left. They said their goodbyes and they left. But she's looking at them like, ain't no way I'm about to let this ride. So it goes to a scene where Adam and his wife are sitting on the couch. They're talking about, all the things that they need to get done before they leave to go back to LA or whatever, because he had like a premiere or something like that. But he had came home to pick up his wife and his daughter so they could go with him. And like, she's going down this checklist of things, and he's saying he got everything, but the one thing he didn't have was his laptop. He left on the car hood, and she tells him that she saw it when she was, I think, in the shower or something like that. So he goes outside to get it, and he ends up, I think, leaving the door unlocked or something like that. So she is able to get in the house. He goes toward the noise and sees all this stuff like scattered up, like somebody kind of like tore the room apart or whatever, broke the lamp, broke the glass, threw the cushions out, the chair, stuff like that. And he cleans it up. Um, it doesn't show that he checked throughout his house, which is stupid, but he cleans it up. And then it goes to a scene where the doctor is, I think, talking to human resources, if I'm not mistaken. She's talking to her higher ups, and they're doing an investigation on her. The girl is asking her questions about why she released Ryan in her friend Tiara's care, and she explains to her like, yeah, I did think that she needed to be evaluated. She needed a psych evaluation, but her friend assured me that she would watch her overnight and she would make sure that she was good. And she like, and you believe her? Like, she's not a professional. What made you believe her? And she like, I just believed her. And she like, am I missing something? Like, what's going on? Like, why is there an investigation? And she tells her, after you released her, she committed several felonies. She assaulted 2 people and something like took the eyeball out, something injured somebody's eyes so bad that they needed surgery. I don't know, it was vague. What she explained was vague or whatever. And the doctor is taken aback by the news, and she like, because this happened and you released her from your care, your license, doctor's license, I don't know how it goes, is revoked. They also probably don't seem to know how it goes, but she tell her that it's been revoked or whatever. She saddened by it. She goes home, and Adam, her husband, is giving her a pep talk and telling her like, it's okay, like everything's gonna work out. Like, did they tell you how long it's gonna be? And she told him, no, they didn't give me a time period yet. He like, you don't really gotta work. Like, I could take care of us or whatever. Like, I make enough money to take care of us. And she like, it's not even about the money. I really like helping people. And he's like, I understand that. But hopefully, you hear something back. So, they're talking, and he's telling her about the lamp that broke and how when he came in the house, things were thrown all over the place. The lamp was broken, the glass was broken. And she like, I heard a noise too. I heard things upstairs in the attic. And he like, you think a squirrel or a cat or something came in? And she like, probably because you left the door open. And so while they're talking, they hear another noise. And he tells her, go get the baby. I'm going to go downstairs and check things out. So she goes to get the baby. And he goes downstairs, and like, he sees the same thing that he saw before. Like, the glass is broken, things scattered about, thrown about, or whatever. And then he hears a gunshot. And so it goes to a scene, like it kind of shows like the ambulance coming, somebody being carried and all of this stuff, but they don't show exactly who it is. So it ends on the scene with Tiara talking to Ryan, who's locked up. Ryan is in jail now. And she's telling her, basically like going over her case and like telling her she's gonna try to get her sentence reduced or whatever. And she like, why would you do that? I killed somebody. And she like, you didn't kill her, like, you put her in a coma. She's in a coma, whatever. And it goes off with Ryan like smirking, like, oh, she's still alive. There's work to be done. Like, I'm not done or whatever. But the thing that annoyed me was her friend was basically enabling her behavior, telling her like, what you did was wrong, but I feel like 25 years is too long for you to be locked up. And she like, I murdered somebody or whatever. And that's when she told her about the coma thing. But it's like, why are you always enabling her behavior? Every time she do something stupid, when she tried to kill herself, I ain't saying that's stupid. When she tried to kill herself, instead of letting her get a psych eval and get the help that she needed, you told that doctor that you were going to watch her, and you didn't. You fell asleep. You didn't even last a couple of hours. You're a terrible friend. Because a good friend would have let her got that psych eval. and they would have supported her through that. But why would you not let her do? And I didn't even understand why she didn't allow her to get it done when she knew that she needed help. You can't help her. You're not a professional. You're going to school to be a lawyer, and she did pass the bar, and she's her lawyer or whatever, and she's trying to get her sentence reduced. And I'm like, she don't deserve that. She tried to kill somebody. Like, and she like, I tried to walk away. She like, yeah, the nanny cam shows that you tried to walk away, and she attacked you from behind, which I think is a lie. She attacked you from behind, and you were, which means that she was the aggressor. This girl was in this lady's house. Ain't no aggressor. Of course, a person whose house you broken into deserves to be the aggressor. Like, what are you talking about? She broke into their house not one time, but a couple of times. And this time she shot that lady. What do you mean 25 years is too long? No, it's not. She needs to sit her behind in that prison for those 25 years, because when she had that man, she did not want him. She didn't appreciate him. She put him down. She didn't care about his dreams. She did not support him. She complained, asked him for everything. He giving her everything that he can give her. That's not enough. She making a big deal out of something else. She deserved the karma that she got, and she needed to lay in it. She made her bed. She needed to lay in it. Stop enabling her. She should not be getting no time reduced. She need them all of them 25 years. Because how dare you? You had him. You didn't want him. You wanted another nigga who was trash, who didn't do anything, who didn't work, who made you work, who cheated on you with your friend. And that's what you deserved. But the way that the things that they could have used to start that movie off, and they decided to start it off with that scene. You want to talk about why you soft? They literally could have started off with the scene of her in prison. They could have started off with the scene of her in prison and then flash back to how she got there. Why would they start off with the scene of the failed sex attempt? It didn't make sense. And I feel like starting a scene off with sex is cheap unless it matters. Unless the sex is leading to something like somebody getting killed or something like that. And if it's not, to me, it's cheap. It's pointless. You're trying to grab attention quick. And I know that they do a lot of that on Tubi a lot. But at the same time, I also have to remember that a lot of people who make movies on here don't really care about how movies are supposed to be made. They write a script, and they just want to record that script, put it out, and so people can watch it. It really and truly don't matter if they follow a formula or if they actually, try to do better movies, try to make better content. But I guess people like me still watch, even though sometimes it doesn't make sense to me. I still support, because I support anybody trying to follow their dreams, even if your dreams is just acting. You don't really care about the story that you're doing. You don't really care about the script. You don't really care about the layout. You don't really care about how things are supposed to be. You really and truly just want to be in front of the camera, or you want to be a director, or you want to be a producer, you want to be a writer. I support all of that. But I'm going to give my unbiased opinion, and I feel like the way that movie started off was stupid. It didn't make sense. It didn't push the plot forward. It didn't make me want to keep watching it. I kept watching it because I am doing this review, but it didn't pull me in. Nothing about it did. You want to tell me why you soft? What? You literally could have started off with her being in prison and then going to show us what she did to get there. Why is that the scene that y'all chose? I don't know. But I give this movie I give it 3 out of 5 stars. 2.5 out of 5 stars. I'll give it 3. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. It was cool. Or I'll give it 5 out of 10 stars. It was cool. Would I watch it again? No. Do I feel like I wasted my time? because I'm doing this review, no. But if I wasn't doing a review, then I would have been annoyed. Like, what did I just watch? It wasn't terrible. The quality was good. Stuff like that. I kind of feel like when it comes to the movies on here, the quality has gotten better for a lot of them. For especially the people like in Detroit that do the movies, their quality is really good. Sometimes the storyline just don't be storylining. Sometimes the plot don't be plotting. Sometimes there be plot holes. Sometimes it be things in there that don't make sense. Sometimes they have, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to squeeze the life out of this storyline. It's going to be a part 2, a part 3, a part 4 for no reason. No reason at all. This movie could literally just end right here. There does not need to be a part 2, but I am willing to bet y'all that it's going to be a part 2. I'm sure of it because of the way that it ended. But like I said, I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was cool. I kind of feel like if they would have shown what he was doing and what she had going on, and maybe that's why I didn't like it, because I thought he was going to be the main character and she ended up being the main character, and it kind of was flat to me. I kind of feel like it would have made more sense if he was the main character, or if both of them were the main characters and they were showing us how both of their lives were turning out over those years that passed. But because they only showed us her side, to me it just wasn't, it wasn't as good as it could have been. So that's how I feel. But who am I? But thank y'all for watching this video. Let me know if you like the way that I do. If you like this way of doing things, or would you rather me just sit in front of the camera with my little paper and read like how I usually do. But thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Have you seen this movie? What do you think about this movie? Also, do you think that it's important for creators, like filmmakers and stuff, to follow a specific, like, not necessarily like rules or guidelines or whatever, but the way that they set a movie up, do you think that that's important, or you don't think it matters? Like, as long as it keeps your interest, you're satisfied? Because I feel like most people who watch these movies don't really care about that type of stuff. They just want to see some outlandish stuff happening, and outlandish stuff happening that's gonna make it interesting, and then that's it. But I care about a lot of that stuff. The outlandish stuff does not put me in. Like, I be seeing a lot of people saying stuff like, it was so many plot twists. No, it wasn't. It was a lot of clues for how this movie was going to play out. Just like this movie right here. Yeah, I knew how it was going to play out. But it was cool. Sometimes you can know how a movie is going to play out, but it's still interesting how they execute it. And I like that, when even though I predicted how it was going to play out, I couldn't have predicted the execution, and I love the execution. But like I said, thank y'all for watching. Let me know what you think about this movie. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye. Before you go, check out my website at srgrahamwrites.org and subscribe to my mailing list to get exclusive updates on works in progress, other news, and blog posts. Thank you.